Hi there. The thought of getting a PR and living permanently in the UK is probably what motivates a lot of people to either move to the UK to study or to work because there are, to be very honest, a lot of benefits to living in the UK. And if that's what you want to do, the type of visa you apply for is extremely important because some visa types allow you a quicker route to apply for a PR, and some visa routes don't allow you to apply at all. So, which visa type you have is extremely important. So, if like a lot of other people, you too want to settle down in the UK, this video is for you. So, for starters, a PR in the UK is called an ILR or an indefinite leave to remain. It's also called a settlement. It basically allows you to live and work in the UK for as long as you'd like. Now, an ILR is not the same as being a British citizen. It, however, does allow you to apply for British citizenship. Now, before we get into the finer details, something you should remember is that if you do apply for an ILR, you cannot spend more than 2 years continuously outside the UK because if you do, your ILR just lapses and then you have to reapply for it. Now, something else you should keep in mind. If you like living life on the edge, and if you indulge in any criminal offenses and you're caught and you face deportation for this, you probably stand to lose your ILR as well. So be good. So getting right into it, there are certain types of visas that allow you to apply for an ILR. One of them is a Tier 2, what was previously known as a Tier 2, and now there's a skilled worker visa, and there's an international sports person visa, and a religious person visa. So all of these visas allow you to apply for an ILR, and usually within 5 years, not within 5 years, after 5 years. Now, under this, you shouldn't have spent more than 180 days in the year outside the country so that you're eligible to apply for this. And something else you need to bear in mind is if you were on a different visa, like certain visas, and you switched over to a skilled worker visa, or you switched from an international sports person visa to a skilled worker visa, and you collectively have 5 years, even then you're eligible. So when you talk about a combination of visas that account for 5 years, these are the visas that are eligible. Any Tier 1 visa except the graduate entrepreneur visa, a skilled worker visa or a Tier 2 general visa, a Tier 2 minister of religion visa, an international sports person, a T2 sports person or a Tier 2 sports person visa, an innovator visa, a global talent visa, or a representative of an overseas business visa. And before I go ahead, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click on the bell icon for notifications. Now, apart from the eligibility in terms of years, which is 5 years, there are also some financial requirements that you need to meet if you are to be eligible for this visa. If you're on a skilled worker visa, you need to be paid at least whichever is higher out of the following: either £25,600 a year or £10.10 per hour, or the going rate for the type of work you'll be doing. Now, if you'd like to know the going rate, you can check the link in the description. If your job is in the shortage occupation list, your salary should be at least £20,480, or if your occupation code is any of the following: 2111, 2112, 2113, 2114, 2119, 2150, or 2311. If you're an international sports person, a T2 person, or a Tier 2 sports person visa, you must be paid at least £35,800 or more per year. If you are on a T2 Minister of Religion visa or a Tier 2 Minister Religion visa, you must be paid at least the same as workers in the same role and meet the national minimum wage requirement. If you'd like to know more about this, please click the link in the description box below. Now, these aren't the only visas that allow you to apply for an ILR. There are some more visas. Those visas are a global talent, a Tier 1 entrepreneur, or an investor visa, in which case you need to be in the UK from 2 to 5 years. Or you can apply with an innovator visa, and in this case, you need to have spent 3 years on this visa alone. Or if you represent an overseas business and you have a visa for this, you can apply for an ILR after 5 years. You can also apply for an ILR if you have a Turkish worker or a business person visa. So what happens if you don't have any of these visas and you've still worked in the UK for 10 years? Well, if you've lived in the UK for 10 years legally, you can still apply for a visa even if your visa didn't fall under any of these buckets. That's not all. There are some more ways. You can apply if you've been living in the UK for 5 years on a UK ancestry visa. Now, if you have family in the UK that are either British citizens or your family has an ILR, and this could be a partner, a parent, or a child on a family visa, or a partner or a child on a dependent visa, then too you can apply for an ILR. You can also apply for an ILR if you are a refugee or have humanitarian protection or discretionary leave. Another way to apply for an ILR is if you previously had an ILR and you are now returning to the UK. Now, apart from this, if you are to be eligible for an ILR, you also have to do two more things. You have to have knowledge of English and take an English language test. And apart from that, you also have to take the Life in the UK test. And this is a test. You can buy the handbook and study all of the material for it. You can buy the handbook online for a cheap price. And you can also buy a bunch of practice tests to make sure that you actually know your stuff, know your material in advance. Practice and give the test if you are to be eligible. Now, you can apply for an ILR up to 28 days before you meet the requirements. If you apply before that, you just get rejected. But also remember that you need to apply for an ILR before your existing visa expires, or you will have to renew your visa and do the whole process and then apply for it. And in most cases, this costs £2,404 for almost all visa types except maybe like one. So bear that in mind. You'll have to pay the sum if you want to apply. That wasn't too difficult, was it? Now, if you want to kickstart your dream of living in the UK and settling in the UK, well, you first need to get to the UK. And if you need help with that, if you need help getting a job in the UK, my suggestion is to watch this video because I've listed out a bunch of openings that are available right now in the UK and are offering visa sponsorship.